from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Rachel Cruz, #1 best-selling author, co-host of the Smart Money Happy Hour, and Ramsey personality, and my daughter is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. Jamie is with us. Jamie is in Springfield, Illinois. Hi, Jamie. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Thanks for having me. I wanted to ask you and Rachel today, I've been following the Ramsey way for several years now, and I am on baby step 7. I'm 100% debt-free as far as student loans, credit cards. I even paid off my mortgage a couple years ago.
Way to go.
Or a couple months ago, sorry. I have my emergency fund. I'm saving for retirement, but where I'm just really kind of struggling, and I'm afraid, I guess, a little bit, I'm not budgeting well. And so I'm afraid to just spend freely and I'm just not doing budgeting very well. And I guess that's what I want your information or, your knowledge or advice on.
Jamie, what's causing you not to, do you think? What's the reason behind not budgeting well, would you say?
I don't know. I honestly I've never done it well. I think the gazelle intents to pay off all the things helped me to get there. And now here I am. I'm like, okay, I'm making more. I have a side hustle, but I don't have anything that I have to pay. So I think there was always that gazelle.
Yeah, the urgency's gone, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, now what?
Yeah, totally. Well, I think one thing that you said that for me, because I'm more of a natural spender and all of it, so my natural bent is not towards budgeting and everything. So what you're saying, I'm like, I totally get it. But what I have found is that, and you touched on it earlier, so I want to just say your words back to you, that you don't feel the freedom to spend. And so for me, that is what I have found so great about budgeting is it allows me to be able to spend and not second guess myself or not think about it. So, I mean, I can tell you, Jamie, my husband and I were in baby step 7. I mean, we've been doing this for 12 years. And our budget, I mean, we just did April, and I'm like, it's so consistent. There may be 4 or 5 categories that we change month to month, but for the most part, we know what we spend. And for us, it has become so simple because it's been so consistent. We're not in this flux of stuff, right? Especially if you're on baby steps 1 through 3, there's so much of oh my gosh, where can we squeeze out? Where can we look? But on baby step 7, you can kind of relax in that. And I think that makes almost budgeting can be a little bit easier because again, those budgets are so much more consistent month to month. So I would be curious if you really did buckle down and do every dollar plus for just 3 months. I bet by the end of the summer, you're like, oh, okay, this isn't as strenuous or as hard as I was thinking. And we talk about too in baby step 7 that, you can up your lifestyle a certain percentage, you up your giving a certain percentage, and all of that. Again, it's a little bit more lax because like you said, you're not having to be as focused and as intense with every single penny.
So when you say you're not budgeting pennies, or do you mean you're not functionally, tactically doing the budget well?
I am not pinching pennies, and I am not physically doing a budget.
Okay.
I'm not following
the
every dollar app. I'm just
because at your stage, we don't tell you to pinch pennies at your stage. All I want you just to do is to do it on purpose. Mm-hmm. And writing it down makes you do it on purpose. And to that end, what is something that a category? Give me a category you enjoy spending on, enjoy freedom in.
Sure. I mean,
clothes, travel, what?
Vacations, yeah.
Vacations, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. See, to me, if you say, this is what we're going to spend on a vacation, this is what we're going to put aside for a vacation, and then when I get ready to do the vacation, the money is laying there because I put it in there, that's easier, and the vacation is more relaxing and more fun than not knowing if I screwed something else up by going on vacation.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what Rachel's saying. There's freedom in the plan because if, for instance, if it was clothing and you went and bought something in clothing and there was zero guilt because it was in the clothing budget, that's what it's supposed to be used for God's sakes. And so you can relax and enjoy the clothing purchase that way. then you're not outside, you're not out of bounds. And you just, the feeling of knowing you're not messing up things when you buy something. Because there's a latent guilt with buying the wrong thing in the wrong time that puts you into a mess. And that's a good guilt because it keeps you from doing stupid butt stuff, right? But it takes away the fear that you're doing something stupid butt if you've got a written game plan where everything's assigned. And so I think the freedom is what I would reach for that Rachel's talking about.
Okay. Just a mindset change.
Yeah, it's going to give me, by doing my payoff for sitting down and spending that 1 hour and later spending 30 minutes, because it doesn't take 30 minutes to do it once you kind of got a rhythm going, but, and really getting good at it, the freedom, the payoff for that 1 hour is freedom. I can, without guilt, without hesitation, go out to eat because I got that go out to eat budget, right?
Right.
And I don't have to go, well, we kind of blew it. We went out to eat again. You don't have to have that latent thing hanging over your head. And I just think that's we used to call it, before Rachel kind of took it and said, it's freedom to spend. But we just used to we said, okay, we're not going to call it a budget anymore. We're going to call it a spending plan.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's what it is. I don't care what you do with your money as long as you do it on purpose. Because people seldom do stupid butt stuff on purpose. Let's sit down. Let's see if we can do a stupid butt thing right now. Nobody does that. But it's like we just keep driving, and then the car's out of gas. Who knew?
Yeah. And I think, Jamie, the encouragement thing where you are, because you have been so diligent with your money, you have worked hard.
A lot of room in this.
And paid off debt. And you have the margin, or you should, have the margin to be able to say, hey, we're going to just do big categories within the budget and not every single one. I think the further back you are on the baby steps, the even more detailed and meticulous you need to be. And then as you start moving, it's like, you can kind of make these bigger, wider categories and live within those. And it's still okay, but you're still doing it on purpose.
Yeah, let me give you an example of that for the rest of you out there, not for her. When you first start doing your budget, you should have a separate restaurant's envelope from your grocery store envelope. You should have a separate category. Restaurants should be a separate category. You shouldn't just say food. Because if you just say food when you're first starting, you'll eat out and you won't have any money to go to the grocery store. Yeah. But when you separate those two, but then later on when you've gotten under control, you've gotten rid of the debt, you've got the margin, then you could just have food.
Mm-hmm. You know what's funny though about me? I'm like, I should retake my Know Yourself, Know Your Money assessment, because I even might be more of a nerd than I realize. Because even though we're on baby step 7 and we've been, again, doing this, we're not perfect at it, but it's been over a decade, I still like more individual categories because I just want more. I just want to
You like the clarity.
I like the clarity of just the complete. I have a date
but
night.
That's still, that's not motivated by nerdism, though. That's motivated by the freedom.
I know. We have a date nights.
Yeah.
In our food category, so it's
it's a separate.
Because I'm I want to enjoy our date.
You want to go out to eat on date night?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
I got you.
All of it. I don't know. We're so specific on ours.
But then you can do it without guilt. That's what you like about it.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, I like it. It's a freedom. There's a freedom to it, and that's when budgeting is not a punishing process. It's a spending plan. This is the Ramsey Show. If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Go to Blinds.com now and save 45% off selected products. Visit Blinds.com today for more info. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Our question of the day is sponsored by Neighborly, your hub for home services. If you're moving, you have a long list of to-dos, but Neighborly's got the local pros like Housemaster, the Grounds Guys, 5-Star Painting, and Junk King. There you go. Name. To check items off that list. Now, in other words, Neighborly's got somebody to help you with just about anything around the house you need. Getting rid of mosquitoes, Molly Maid, Mr. Electric, Mr. Rooter, all those things fall under the Neighborly heading. And that's why we're so excited to have them sponsor here. Visit neighborly.com today to schedule home service experts near you.
And today's question comes from Mark in Wisconsin. In the current economy, what is a reasonable expectation as far as where home loan rates will end up by the end of the year? Is the 3% rate possible again, or do you think it'll stay where it's at? In looking at my numbers, it's depressing how much my mortgage payment would be after putting a lot of money down. So I'm hoping for some light at the end of the tunnel. You know, I mean, I was listening to a thing of, I think it was like or Yahoo Finance or something today. And I mean, they're thinking they're going to raise the federal raise again in May and June. Like, so that's the thing, Mark. I'm like, I don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. We have no idea. Is 3% rate possible by the end of the year?
No.
Probably not.
No, not by the end of this year.
No.
However, we need to tell you that economists and weather forecasters are the only people that can be wrong most of the time and keep their jobs. So when we predict that, you know, it's just like, who knows? But realistically, it takes it a little while to settle back down if the bond markets settle down and if the Fed quits screwing with it. And so, you know, you've only got about, you know, effectively 9 months, less than that, by the time we have this conversation and all. So no, not by the end of the year. Will we ever see 3% again? Oh, maybe. I don't know. Maybe, probably. The thing you got to think about is this. In 1978, I got my real estate license. Rates went from 9 3/4 to 10 that September. For the first time ever, we saw double-digit interest rates. They didn't settle back down below 10. They went all the way up to 18 in 1982 under Jimmy Carter. And then they came back down. And in the 80s, I don't remember when they came back down below 10, but it was probably a decade before they came back down below 10. And honestly, I was a young real estate agent at that time, and having lived through it going up, and then it came down from 18 to 14 to 12, even to 11. When I went on the radio in I know it took more than a decade because I went on the radio in 1992 and they had not gone below 10. And I was telling people, you'll never see it below 10 again. And I said that on the radio and I was completely wrong, right? And it went below 10 and it stayed in the 5-6 range for a long, long time.
Yeah.
2008 crash drove the rates down below 3. And they stayed in the 3 and below 3 until just the other day. Yeah. Until just about a year ago. So the point being that there's a large percentage of the history of single-family homes prospering in the United States that the rate was much higher than 3%. 6%, 9%, even 11 or 12%. And the market moved. The market continued to move. The only difference was they didn't have 3 to compare it to.
Yeah, and that we've been spoiled to live in. Yeah, I mean,
you got 3 to compare it to, and it pisses you off.
All you've known.
Yeah,
and especially for the millennials that are the ones that are probably in the major, housing to buy. Yeah, I mean, that's all we've known is that
since 2008. Yeah.
Yes, so I mean, I think, and what I would say too, Mark, is when it comes to buying your home, we always say, buy a home when it's good for you, regardless of what the market's doing. So regardless of whether the stock market is like going crazy or it's down or whatever. For the most part, if you have the money and you have the ability to buy a home, then you have the ability to buy a home. And if it goes back down, you can refinance. I mean, you can always still get a better interest rates, but it is depressing. I get it. I get it.
2 points to go with my little story of perception there, okay?
Oh, is the history lesson still going?
The history lesson.
So sorry.
No. The point for the history lesson, and then I'll land the freaking plane. But the
just circle. You're just circling.
Okay.
It's great.
10%. If you were at 10% 18 months ago and it had come down to 6, 6 would not be depressing. It's not the 6 that's depressing. It's the change from 3.
Yeah.
That's what's depressing. And because you saw what you used to could have had, okay? And that's what throws you off. So if you bought a house at 6, you're not going to die from it. And go ahead and be pissed off and get the stupid thing paid off ASAP. And then, because my interest rate on my home is precisely 0 because I don't borrow money. So there's that. And you can save up and pay cash for a house too. That's a weird idea. Oh, that's a really weird idea. But people do it. And it's not that unusual. It's not as unusual as some of you think it is. So, well, don't tell me that because I've seen it. I've been doing this for 30 years. I see a lot of people pay cash for a house. So just start going, okay, I'm going to save $50,000 a year. I'm going to do that for 5 years. I'm going to have $250K and I'm going to buy my first starter house. Well, you can't get to, I know, wherever you are, I get it. But the average house price in America today is about $300,000. So, let's talk about how you get $300K together. Or let's talk about putting a huge down payment and then getting it paid off as soon as possible so you don't have to be pissed off or depressed or whatever emotion it is that's associated with it. So, perception is part of the issue. The actual math's part of the issue. And then it just turn it as a positive and as a motivator to push you on out of debt. Cherie is with us in Philadelphia. Hi, Cherie. How are you?
Hi to you both. I'm so excited. I love your whole team.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How can we help?
So I'm moving to a new job, and so is my husband. He was recently laid off. Our question is, what do you advise we do with our current 401k in such a volatile market? Leave it as is or move into something else?
What do you mean something else?
I'm very confused that, the 401k, I have it through Principal and to move it to a Roth, like as far as the different mutual funds are available, the Roth, I don't know which one would be best for us. We were advised by 2 different people to hold off doing anything because the market is, it's just, everything is, I guess, it's not in the best shape.
Okay, those people are stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. If the market is down and you have your money in mutual funds and you sell those mutual funds and you move over to an IRA and you do a rollover on your 401k, which is what I'm going to tell you to do, and you buy mutual funds while the market is down, you sold while they're down, you bought while they're down. No net loss.
Okay.
You don't lose money if you sell when it's down as long as you buy when it's down. Now, if you sell while it's down and you wait till it goes back up to buy, well, yeah, you would lose money. But why would we tell you to do that? We don't want to do that. This is a great time to sell and a great time to buy, as long as you do it all on the same day. So, you need to get with a SmartVestor Pro and, don't
leave it at your current employer.
No, right.
So that's that. And I don't know what because Cherie, it's the same pool you're working in if you're taking it from a 401k to an IRA, right? It's all within the market. So not leaving it with your employer, go ahead and roll it over to a traditional IRA.
So here's what I would do, and explain to you why. Okay, so go to, if you don't have a good advisor, go to RamseySolutions.com and click on SmartVestor Pro and sit down with someone that has the heart of a teacher. And here's what they'll teach you. Okay, that when you sell the mutual funds and the 401k, in order to roll them over to an individual IRA, traditional 401k to a traditional IRA, there's no taxes. Okay.
Okay.
Number 1. Number 2, you're selling growth stock mutual funds in your old 401k. You're buying new growth stock mutual funds in the new IRA. That's your rollover. But both are down. And so you're going to have a net on that. No problems. So no taxes, no loss in the market. But you've now got an advisor in your corner. You are controlling what the money goes into. You get to speak over it. Your IRA is in your control. The 401k back in an old employer is clunky and hard to deal with and has limited options. So that's why we tell you to move it. Rachel's exactly right. This is The Ramsey Show. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions of your life. You need a partner like Churchill Mortgage. Churchill is one of the highest rated lenders in the country, and they're Ramsey trusted because they do what's right for you. Churchill works with you to build a mortgage the Ramsey way. one that doesn't bust your budget, sets you up for financial success, and helps you get out of debt faster. Go to churchillmortgage.com today and get started. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Hey, thank you to all of you that have recently joined us. Our ratings and our rankings and all the different ways we measure success on the show are all up, meaning there's more of you out there than there was last month and a lot more than there was the month before. Thank you very much. And those of you that told your friends and neighbors to come visit, thank you. And we're going to ask you to continue to do it. There's 3 ways you can help us, because we do not spend a bazillion dollars. We don't spend $300 million a year on marketing. Like we don't have our own stadium like SoFi. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I got allergies. But we don't have a big football stadium named after us, so you got to help us, all right? So what do? Well, you can subscribe if you're a YouTuber or a podcast follower, right? You can tell people about the show if you're watching it or listening to it on radio. You can tell people about it if you're a YouTuber. Digital by sharing it. They've got a sharing mechanism. You can send the link out and go listen to us. Yeah, do all that. And leave a 5-star review. That helps. It pushes the show forward in some of the algorithms and causes people to see it that might not see it otherwise. And if you want to leave a 1-star review, you got the wrong show, because Mama said don't do anything. Don't say anything if you ain't anything nice to say. So just go somewhere else if you don't like the show. But leave us a 5-star, subscribe, follow, share, all of those things. It's a big help. We really appreciate it. Daniel's with us in Huntsville, Alabama. Hi, Daniel. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave, Rachel. It's great to be on.
Yeah, good to have you. How can we help?
Well, so got kind of a conundrum at our house. I've accepted a new job about 8 hours away, and I start this Monday. I left my previous job about 2 weeks ago, so we had a 2-week period there of just kind of being home together and getting the house kind of set up. And my plan is that I'm going to be leaving this weekend, heading to the new job, using my wife's brother's spare room for a couple weeks, and then looking for a place to rent while we're and letting them stay here and finish school year and stuff like that. But there's some apprehension from my wife about the move, and she's kind of feeling like we're really set up well here, and not wanting to move the kids, and worried about interest rates and stuff like that for the purchase of a new home.
I'm a little bit confused. Why didn't we discuss all this before you took the freaking job?
Well, we kind of did. It seemed like a good idea at the time, and for me, it's a promotion. It's a pay raise. It's a bonus increase, and it's actually moving back home for us to an area that we're from. So there's lots of family around and everything. And the kids are actually seem to be pretty excited about it. Or at least my son, who's 6 years old, he's excited to go be near all his little cousins.
Is her biggest what is her number one reason? Is it the kids? Is it interest rates? Because all of this can be fixed, or does she have a life in Huntsville that she loves and she doesn't want to leave?
There's not a life in Huntsville that we're in love with. She likes kids' school that they go to. We send them to a private school here. She's uncertain about schools in the area that we're going to, but they're schools that we went to and came from.
Again, I don't understand why y'all didn't discuss this before.
I think
none of that has changed.
Did
you take this job and talk to her?
Well, no. I mean, like we talked about it. I tried to paint the picture of once I got the job offer. So I went to the interview, and once I got the job offer with the raise and the bonus, of what we could do, because we could we're going to, we have a lot of equity in our.
I mean, but she didn't raise these concerns then.
Not exactly, no. Or at least she says I didn't won't listen to him.
There's that. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like you bulldozed this, and now you're paying for it. Did I miss something?
Yeah. No.
Oh, Daniel. Oh, no. Man. Okay. Well, you start Monday. So you're going to have to make some, make some decisions. You guys are going to have a come to Jesus meeting, and you have to lay out, she needs to lay out all of her concerns, where she's frustrated with you if you didn't really listen to that and own that. You guys look at the schools, do get as much information as possible, because interest rates, whatever, rent for a year, and we just hadn't, interest rates, I wouldn't do that. There's schools everywhere. I understand people love their school. I love where our kids are, but if you had to move for a job, there's great schools in every city that you can find, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
So all of that can be overcome. My issue though, Daniel, is that the problems that she's bringing up can be solvable, but I think she's probably thinking, "Holy crap! You just went and did all of this, and I may not be on board."
Yeah.
How old are you guys?
34, 35.
Okay, so you've been married 10 years?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, okay.
This January.
Right. Yeah, my wife. We've been married 40 years, and my wife says we've had 33 good years of marriage. And she's referring to the first 7 when her voice didn't get heard. That's how I recognize this stuff so quickly, because I'm you many years ago, okay? And so one of here's the skills that Sharon and I had to learn. Number one, I had to slow down and listen. Proverbs 31 says, "Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, and he will have no lack of gain." I used to do a lot of what you did here, which is half listen, half let her talk, and then I go and did what I wanted to do. And that's what you did. And so you need to own that. She also needs to own the fact that she was being too freaking timid, and she needs to freaking speak up. She,
She may have. Hey, well, no, you don't know.
Listen.
I don't know. I wouldn't put that on her.
I'm putting it on both of them.
I am
Their
too.
communication style sucks. Okay, you all did not talk through a major life thing where both of you were heard because she didn't speak loud enough and you didn't shut up long enough. And both of you got to work on that. And if you don't, Sharon and I had to work on it. It took us a long time. And we loudly communicate, and often. So, it's a good hillbilly fight sometimes. But at least we both get heard. And I have a rule: I do not move forward on major decisions of any kind, especially financial decisions, without Sharon completely looking at me and saying, "Okay, I'm heard. I have some concerns. I've talked about them, but I think we need to go ahead. I hear what you're saying, and we come to total agreement." Both having voiced our thing and done this.
Okay, so what does he do? Starts on Monday.
I think you go back and you apologize, but you need to own what you did here. She needs to own and then say, okay, now, what do you want to do? Do you want me to go in and quit the job that I've accepted? Or do you want to make the move, and if the move goes bad and it's horrible, then we can make another move if we have to. That would actually be my suggestion, is remember that this is maybe not forever. It feels like to her it's absolute and there's no going back, and she's stuck.
Especially since family's there and everything. It's like you're about to go plant roots is what it kind of feels like. But giving her the dignity of the option of like, hey, if this goes bad and we're not enjoying it, and give it a year, we'll come back.
Or we'll go another place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you got to own the fact you didn't listen, and she needs to own the fact she didn't speak up, and then y'all got to decide what you're going to do before Monday. Don't wander off up there while this is in a fog. This is not going to go well. You need clarity before you do this.
Especially moving,
My suggestion would be that both of you own your part in this horrible communication plan you have and address that for the future. And go ahead and take the job. And I suggest she goes along with that, with the caveat that we could leave in a year if it doesn't work. That's what I would do. So, but you're going to have to give her an out, man. You didn't listen. This is the Ramsey Show. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. So, new product out, huh?
Well, it's been out for a little bit, and it's just become it's a popular one, and so we have a new color, a limited time color of the Rachel Cruz Slim wallet.
The slim version.
Yes, which is the metallic blush, which is my favorite. This is the one I personally carry.
Sounds like a lipstick color.
I know. Well, it's just beautiful. All the ladies appreciate a good metallic, material. So the Slim wallet is great. It's $34. We're actually marking it down a little bit. So there's a little bit of a sale. And I love this wallet. We have the Rachel Cruz original wallet that has multiple dividers within it. So if you're doing the envelope system and you need different categories, that's a great option for that. But for me, in this season of life, I'm traveling. I'm moving my wallet from purse to purse. I mean, it's just... 3 kids, everything. So I'm like, I needed something smaller that I could use in and out of a store and not have to take my whole purse. So we came up with this idea. So there's one envelope inside that would carry at least one category. You could even maybe put 2 in there if you were able to divide it. And places for your cards. So insurance card, license, debit card, gift cards, all of that.
Handgun carry permit.
That could be in there too.
You have to have that with the blush.
Yeah. So it's there. But the Rachel Cruz Slim Wallet, if you don't like metallic blush, there's other colors available. Black, camel, champagne. And it's $34 for a limited time. So this color, we again bought a limited quality. So once they are sold out,
no, the quality is unlimited.
I'm sorry.
The quantity is limited. Yeah.
Thank you for that correction. But anyways, it's great. I love it. So hopefully all you ladies will enjoy it. So you can go to RamseySolutions.com/store to get yours today.
The Slim wallet. Metallic blush.
It's beautiful.
Things I thought I would never say on the radio. Okay. And I just did.
You're welcome.
Steve is with us in New York City. Hey, Steve. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and Rachel. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I inherited an IRA from my father. It's got $29,000 in it. I was wondering if I should cash that out and pay off a couple of loans that I have.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, well, that's a good answer.
You're going to pay taxes and no penalties. If you do not cash it out, you're required to cash it out 1/10 a year for 10 years, to where within 10 years it's all out anyway.
Right.
That's the law.
Okay.
And so you're going to be moving $2,900 a year out anyway. And I'm going to go, and you pay the taxes each time you do that. So it's not like you can avoid these taxes. They're coming. And I would just go ahead and pick them up and be done with the debts. How far does that move you through your debt snowball?
Well, I have a $9,000 loan that I had taken out from my 401k. I have $9,000 left on my mortgage, and I have a $14,000 boat loan and no other debt.
You owe more on your boat than your house?
It's a nice boat.
Or not a nice house. Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's nice too. It's just that I've been paying it for a long time.
I'm kidding with you. It's great. It's just unusual. Yeah. Agreed? Yeah, okay. So wait a minute. Let's see, 18 and 14. And so what is that? 32,000 makes you debt free. Have you got any cash?
I've got about 10,000 in cash, and I've got about 500,000 in my 401k.
Okay.
There you go, Steve.
So what I would do is cash this out. Your taxes will not be due on it until April 15th of 2024. And so I would use 100% of the money towards this, and I'd take 3 of the 10 and be 100% debt free.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Okay, you got 10,000. You need 30 and 29. So you have $39,000 total if you cash this out and you wait until pay your taxes until next year, of course, right?
Right. Well,
Okay.
Well, they'll take the taxes out immediately, I believe.
No.
They'll take 20%.
They're not supposed to.
Oh, I thought that was how it worked.
No, that's how it works on a 401k. It should not work that way on an inherited IRA. Inherited IRA, you should pay your taxes the following year. So, that's what. Anyway, I would pay off all the debts and have $7,000 left if they don't withhold on you. That's what'll happen, and then I would immediately build that $7,000 up to 3 to 6 months of expenses. But I'd be 100% debt free.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
The boat will drive better if it doesn't have payments. I know. I used to have payments on a boat years ago.
Yeah.
What kind of boat is
my
it?
toy. It's a 26-foot Sea Ray.
Oh, nice boat. Yeah, it is a good boat. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. That's my summer home.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Well, Ramseys are boaters too. We love the lake and the boats and the stuff, and so dragging the kids around behind it and all that stuff.
Different kind of boat.
A little bit, not much though. 26-foot Sea Ray. I mean, you got 23-foot Mastercraft. I mean, so not a lot different. But
talking boat shop here.
That's it.
I can't really contribute.
Yeah, it's not a yacht. It's a 3 foot longer than your Mastercraft. So anyway, that's good stuff. So there we go. It's a little yacht. But yeah, okay. Nice boat. Good job.
Good job, Steve. Congrats on being debt free.
Yeah, way to go. Peggy's in Lexington. Hey, Peggy, what's up?
Hi. Well, I am 65 years old, retired. My husband has dementia. He's had it for 12 years. We don't have any debt. We own our home. But I'm in the process of starting a trust fund for my children. And my understanding is I can invest money through the trust fund once it's completely set up. And I just wanted your advice on how to move forward with all of that.
Why are you doing that?
That was the advice of an attorney.
Who sells trust funds?
Attorney.
Okay, who sells trust funds?
An irrevocable trust fund.
Yeah, why?
Because my husband has dementia and we don't have any long-term care insurance, and I know that's what you would say.
Well, it's too late now, but
and he was 52 when he got dementia, so it's
highly
unusual. He has early onset. So anyway,
he's 64. How's he doing?
He is he's okay, but mentally he's he has had constant care. But I have him at home with me, and
I'm sorry, hon. It's been a long 12 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. And we've had lots of, when he first got it, he got scammed once because he could still take calls and stuff like that. So, but we've made it through all of that. But I didn't know what to do to prepare for my future, so I went to this elder
Okay, so the reason for the trust is to keep from losing it to a nursing home?
Well, and to protect the way the lawyer said it is to protect your assets.
From what?
Well, the nursing home. Like I don't have money like.
Okay. How much money have you got?
And I'm not going to put him in a nursing home unless I absolutely have to.
I understand. How much money do you have, honey?
We have. Hold on, I wrote all this down. We have about 115 that's waiting to be transferred into the trust fund in just cash, and then I have a $40,000 cash value on a whole life. He's got a $30,000 on a whole cash value on a whole life. I have he's got about 165 in a. I guess it's a 401, and I've got about 110 in an IRA.
Okay, I don't know what you're trying to protect it from, and you don't either. And so you're doing something because someone told you to, and you don't know what you're doing. And so I'm going to tell you don't do it because you don't know what you're doing. You can't tell me why we're doing this. You're doing it because some lawyer said to do it. Let me tell you, they're stupid lawyers.
If he has to go to a nursing home, then our assets will be protected.
I'm not sure they will in an irrevocable trust, especially if it's because they've got a 5-year look back. And if you're going to put him in a nursing home, you're probably not going to want to put him in a Medicaid nursing home where the government pays for it, because that's called welfare. And welfare fraud laws are very airtight. I think you need to get a second opinion before you make this move. I think you're going the wrong way. I think you need to learn some more about this, and you need to get another opinion. This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz. If you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author. My daughter is my co-host today. She's also the co-host of the Smart Money Happy Hour with one George Camel, which the popularity of as a podcast has now exploded. It's pretty freaking incredible how many of you have caught on to that thing. They're fun, they're funny, and they're the nice bunch around here. But today you've got me. So there you go. You got,
we
old Papa Dave today.
That's right. We sip on a cocktail, talk about pop culture and money. It's great.
It is great.
It's a great
funny.
podcast.
It's fun and funny, and you actually also teach some stuff when you're in there. Yeah,
that's what he wants us to do.
Sneak it in there. Yeah,
you got to teach something. I'm like, or we can just have fun.
Some kind of value to this.
We do.
It's a good value proposition. It's worth listening to. So check it out. Smart Money Happy Hour. You don't want to miss out. All right, Alex is going to start off this hour in Orlando. Hey, Alex, how are you?
Hey, Dave. I've been a little bit better, but I'm really glad to be able to be on this call. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. How can we help, sir?
So I am basically starting over essentially my whole life at this point, lots and lots of changes. This all started maybe, I would say, probably about 2 years ago is when, like, the dominoes started to fall. Basically, I was with my fiance and living with my fiance in my home and my daughter. And then we split, and she left. Mm. And I was with taking care of my daughter for the last 2 years, and just kind of went into a little bit of a depression. And then eventually I took a leave of absence at my job a year later. So after that happened, I didn't really have an income, and I ended up selling my house. I sold my house, and I got a lot of money from it. It was a good return, and impulsively, in the loneliness, I met someone. And during that time, basically, I spent essentially all of that money parading around with that person, and spent all of it, and now the money's gone, so is that person. And now I can't financially take care of my kid, so she's going to be living with her mother in a different state. Mm-hmm. And I am living with my parents now. And I'm just trying to start over and just seeing, just trying to put the pieces together to see where to go from here.
Wow. Sorry, Alex. How old are you?
I am 36.
Okay. So I hear broken hearts, yours. I hear shame and regret.
Yep.
I think I hear you kind of hitting bottom.
Yeah.
Have you turned back up yet, or are we still sitting at the bottom?
We're still sitting at the bottom. It's just now hitting me harder now because, my kid will be leaving in probably a couple months, less than that probably. So,
a couple of months? I thought you said you couldn't take care of her.
Right. So she's finishing up the school year. So I'm just scraping by, just doing odd jobs to, she's got a shelter. She lives with me and my parents in their home. So she has food and everything. So she's finishing up the school year. So why can't you
turn your life around enough to take care of her in 2 or 3 months?
At this point, her mother is essentially wanting her time with her at this point. And because of where I'm at,
That's different than I can't take care of her, so she's leaving.
Right.
I mean, if that's a good thing for your daughter, for her to spend some time with her mom, and it might be, that's an okay thing. But that's different than I've screwed up so badly I can't take care of her, and she's leaving. I kind of thought she was already gone the way you first said that.
Right. No. She's going to be leaving within a couple of months. She's finishing up the school year. Yeah.
Okay. What did you used to do for a living before?
I've done sales my whole life. That I have just sales experience. I've done sales.
What's the best year of income you ever had?
Probably 60 to 70,000.
What do you think you're going to make in this calendar year?
In this calendar year, I don't know. I'm not employed right now, and the only reason I was stopping from getting a job at this point is because I take my daughter to school every day. It's in order for her to stay at her old school. It's a 40-minute drive there, 40-minute back. So I've just been doing odd jobs like Instacart and things like that just to make ends meet in the meantime until she leaves. So the plan is to get the actual job once she leaves.
So Alex, the positives here in the story is I think that there is something that really happens to people emotionally when they hit that bottom. Because I think it does allow you to look up and say, oh my gosh, here's where I'm at and here's where I don't want to be. Because sometimes when you just live in this perpetual cycle of like, things are kind of working, it's fine. You just continue to live almost in this like, you're sleepwalking through life almost. And then when these drastic things start to hit, it wakes you up. And so for you in this time, since you said, I still feel like I'm at the bottom, I feel like you just need some wins. And you're called a money show. We talk more about life here on this show. But from the money perspective, Alex, I would love for you to have some level of confidence and dignity in what you're doing and how you're handling your money to at least get some level of a foundation under you to stand on, so that in 90 days, when you do decide, okay, I'm going to go out into the job market, which it's a great job market right now. There's a lot of open jobs, so that's another positive in this story. But to have some of these quick wins of intentionality. And so if you hang on the line, Austin's going to pick up and we'll give you Every Dollar Plus and Financial Peace University, because I want you to have something that you can control in your life right now, because there's a lot out of your control is what it feels like.
I want you to map out what kind of man you want to be 1 year from now and 3 years from now in your spiritual walk, your physical condition, your finances, in your career. And then I want you to start taking the steps to be that man immediately. Immediately. You figured out who you don't want to be. Now you need to figure out who you do want to be.
And I would figure out, Alex, too, to throw a Dr. John Deloney, spice in here is, I mean, if there's a great counselor, therapist, pastor, someone to sit down and really understand, Alex, what caused me in the first place to be making these decisions? Because you can just white knuckle your way through good decisions in life, but when you understand underneath what those motivators are, what are those things in your life and in your story that have caused that, that's gonna help you too. So, I mean, honestly,
I would sit down with someone. I agree with Rachel, and I would also find a great church, get some good men around you that are who you want to be in your next stage, and start looking at them and saying, how do they function? How are they a dad? How are they in a relationship? How do they do their career? This is the Ramsey Show. We've been doing business at Ramsey for more than 30 years. By now, we're a well-oiled machine, but it wasn't always that way. Yes, we've always had a vision, always had determination, and a drive to help people. But what we didn't have was one central place to access all our numbers so that we could get further ahead or quickly see when we needed to pivot. We were always jumping back and forth between different systems and spreadsheets. So when NetSuite by Oracle helped us wrangle our revenue, inventory, expenses, and more into one place, it was a game changer. And NetSuite's #1 cloud financial system can help your business gain the same visibility, because businesses thrive on timely data. And NetSuite's real-time analytics can help your business have immediate access to your numbers daily, so you always know where you stand and you can move quickly. So go to netsuite.com/Ramsey today and set up a free product tour. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. If you're wondering whether to buy or sell a home this year, here's what you need to know about the housing market. There's still more buyers than there are homes for sale. There's still more demand than there is supply, so we're not going to see prices plummet. Interest rate hikes have made mortgages uncomfortable, unaffordable, piss you off. I get it. Home prices aren't going to spike either. They're going up, but very gradually, like they have in most years prior to the weirdness we just went through. If you're buying a home, you may still face some competition. You may see some big price tags. If you want to sell your home, chances are you can still make a good profit and you can sell it. You're just going to get it ready, and you're going to have a normal marketing period, 90 to 120 days. You're probably not going to get 100% of asking price, but that's a fairly normal transaction in real estate. And that's the world we live in now. So if you want to have all of this happen properly, you need an incredible agent in your corner, and you can find these. They're Ramsey trusted through our endorsed local providers program. Top performing, high octane, high protein agents around the country that we trust to serve you well and get the job done in this weird time we're in. RamseySolutions.com/agents, how you find them. RamseySolutions.com/agent. Thanks for hanging out with us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Allie is in Denver. Hey, Allie, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave and Rachel. Thank you guys so much for taking my call. It's an honor to speak with you.
You too. What's up?
All right. So my question today is on paying off our mortgage versus investing a full 15%. So some background on our situation. My husband and I are both 25 years old. We're debt-free besides the house. We have a household income of about $250. Of that, I'm about $180, my contribution. Our mortgage is $400,000. But it's always been a dream of mine to be a stay-at-home mom. We're not having kids yet, but I see it in the next 3 or 4 years. And so
what do you
I was wondering what your advice would be. I work in sales.
Wow, you're good at it. You make 180, he makes 70.
Yeah, they're about. And I mean, honestly, I'm a conservative person, so I feel like these are pretty conservative numbers. I could see it closer to 280 this year too, combined.
Oh,
So.
okay.
No, I know. I was like, "Dang, girl."
Wow.
No.
Okay.
But still, that's $30,000 more.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you want to set up to be able to quit when you have kids in the next few years.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
This
Good.
has kind of been, we both had stay-at-home moms. We see the value in it.
Yeah.
And I am still kind of not entirely sure. My whole life I've thought I wanted to stay at home, and then this job has come up, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been fun. I've been good at it. And I'm not sure if I'll want to stay home, but at the same time, I just want the freedom of the choice when we get to that point,
Yeah.
So just kind of trying to set ourselves up to have the option if we want it.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's your question then?
Yeah. So do you think right now we are investing around like 10%? Also because my commissions have been increasing recently, so that's part of why it's lower than the 15. Prior to that, we were doing the 15. But we've been putting like everything at the house every month we possibly can. And so I'm just wondering like if you would suggest that we continue with the 15%, even with the idea of me potentially leaving the workforce in the next couple of years and then us losing that income. Or if we should put like more aggressively for the next just couple of years on the mortgage.
How long have you been paying extra on the house?
A couple months now. We only got the house in November. Yeah.
Okay. So, how much did you pay for the last 2 months on the house? Extra.
About $3,000 extra.
$3,000.
And in the coming months, we're looking at like 6 to 8 extra moving forward because we got a car. That was something else.
Yeah.
How much do you have left on the house, Allie?
$400.
It was a $400,000 house. Is it still $400?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's what's remaining on it.
That's what's remaining. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, $8,000 a month. I like. That's $100,000 out of $300,000. Okay.
Right.
That's very doable, and that puts you out of debt in 4 years. Right. Now, I would continue to do that, and while putting 15% of your income into retirement. I would not back off on retirement because here's the thing. 10% of $300,000 is $30,000. $30,000 a year does not solve this problem.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't solve a $400,000 problem. $100,000 a year does, but 30 doesn't. Okay, so you've got a philosophical thing more than a mathematical thing going here. So the actual math associated with what you're requesting. So if you stopped retirement, would you pay off the house that much faster? About 6 months faster is all.
Okay.
That's the way the math works.
We don't want to stop by any means.
Yeah. And so, but I mean, if you stop,
but even on an extreme, in an extreme example, it's still.
Yeah.
So the difference in 10%, 15% doesn't matter for your goal of knocking out the 400. What matters on your goal of knocking out the 400 is the $8,000 a month going on it or more.
Right.
And just leaning in and making that like one of your sales goals. It's a reason I'll go make a sale at the end of the day when I'm a little tired and didn't really want to go make that last call. I'm going to go make it because I'm going to knock the house out that much faster. Because I got to tell you, when I'm a salesperson, and when you can increase your income by extra effort the way you can and the way you obviously have, you're obviously very good at it. Congratulations.
Yeah, and Allie, if you guys do this for 2-3 years,
you'll be out of debt.
You'll be out of debt, and you don't know, even with family planning. I mean, everyone's story is so different down that road. You could get pregnant the first month. It could take you guys another 5 years, or you know what I mean? You may end up adopting. Like you never know. And so I love people that prepare before the family, begins, where they're like, okay, I want to be looking out because I know we're going to take this step eventually. But it may not even be in your timeline. And if you guys are aggressive in 2 to 3 years, you're going to basically have it paid off. So even if you did have a baby and stayed home, you're only going to have another year or two of the mortgage if you go down to his salary. So if you're aggressive now, you'll have plenty of room, whether you get pregnant right away, if that's what you guys want here in 2 to 3 years or not. You'll have the ability to be home, and I think that's a great financial goal for you. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think you got good goals, and you're obviously high achievers. So, but let's recap. The answer to your question is put 15% of your income into retirement, and everything else you can find, throw it at the house so that you can hit this goal. The more fired up you are about having that house paid off, the faster it's going to be paid off. Now, we say be intentional, not necessarily gazelle intense in these last 4, 5, 6 baby steps. But if you want to, be intense because you have this goal of knocking it out and to have the dates line up with when you want to be home, then I'm in with that. Yeah. I'm good for that. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Tom is in Long Beach. Hey, Tom, how can we help?
Dave, it is a pleasure to talk with you. I've been just dying to talk with you for so long, and I have a burning question. I just want to find out what your take is. I think I know what you're going to say, but
okay.
What's
your question?
I want to ask you. Well, I'm interested, and my wife and I are interested in buying a second home, and we want it as a kind of a vacation home, and
Great.
also so I can do my woodworking.
How much is it?
And we're just shopping right now. So
what do you want to spend on it?
For something. I guess probably under 300.
Have you got the money?
Or, we don't. Well, that's what I'm calling about. I want to ask you. So,
No, I mean, do you have $300K to put on the house?
No.
Then you can't buy it.
Right. No, I get you.
An evil laugh.
But I'm seeing every day. I see every day that the prices go up.
I don't care.
And, in this area.
A second house is a toy. We pay cash for toys. If you can't pay cash for it, you don't buy a mountain house, a lake house, or a woodworking house, or whatever this is. It's a toy. You knew I was going to say that too, but I'm here to say what you always predict I'm going to say. That's what I do every day, over and over and over and over again. This is The Ramsey Show.
Y'all, there's a lot you can't control when it comes to healthcare, but there is something you should check out that can help. Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM is not insurance. It is budget-friendly, biblically based health cost sharing. That means a community of members helping share the burden of each other's healthcare costs. They help people just like you in all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Learn more today at chministries.org/budget.
We know there's a bunch of you out there that are new to this Ramsey stuff. We know that because our rankings and ratings have gone up dramatically. And so if you're brand new and some of the stuff we say is, it's kind of sounds like inside baseball, like it's tribal speak and you don't know what all the words in the vernacular means. Well, it's like baby steps and debt snowballs and all that kind of stuff. Well, we'll help you jump in, okay? Just go to RamseySolutions.com, click on the Get Started button. It's a completely free thing. It'll just walk you through where you are and what your next step is, and you'll begin to kind of get the vibe of what we're doing, the process here. And we'll walk you through it. Again, completely free. RamseySolutions.com, click Get Started. Cole is in Wichita, Kansas. Hey, Cole, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave.
Hey.
I'm proud to be on here with you. Thanks for your time.
Honored to have you. How can we help?
Well, I messed up, so we are in the hole big time. I mean, I guess not big time. We're on our way there, and I don't know what to attack first, I guess. What we're going to do, we're selling one of the vehicles. It's got some problems that are coming to arise that I've noticed, and so we're just going to sell that one. Whatever money we have left over, we're going to save $1,000 of it for our emergency fund, and then start applying whatever else we have to the rest. Mm-hmm. Basically, what I don't know what to do is, like, looking ahead to the end of this month, I'm going to be in the red, and I don't know what not to pay and still be able to live, I guess.
Okay.
I don't want to go behind on anything, but it's inevitable at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All right. How old are you guys?
I'm 31. My wife is 30.
How long have you been married?
5 years on Friday.
What's your household income?
That'd be 112,000.
Okay. So you make good money.
Yeah.
I mean, 100,000 is no slouch in Wichita, Kansas, dude. That's excellent.
Yeah.
So what's causing the problems?
Well, I think where we're at right now is after Christmas, there were some some bills that I forgot about, and we've got an almost 1-year-old, and the hospital called on that, and I got on a payment plan with them, and that payment plan came out, and it overdrafted my account. And after that, I'm just trying to play catch up, I guess, on that, and it's just been one thing after another. We had tire blowout on one of the vehicles. I had to get a new tire for that, and rubber's it's expensive right now.
How much was the hospital bill that came out of your account?
That one was it was a $222 payment.
With making $115,000 a year, $222 does not put you in this mess.
What other debt do you have, Cole?
Right.
What else do you have?
We have 2 vehicles right now. One of them we owe $4,500 on. The other one we owe $6,200 on.
Okay.
The $6,200 one is the one we're selling, by the way.
Okay.
We've got my wife has around $30,000 in student loan. The credit cards is right around $14,000. And the house is $102,000. And what else is there? I'm trying to think.
How much is the house worth?
House right now, I haven't had it appraised or anything, but I'm thinking that I could get around 140 to 100.
Okay, so your house payment's not like insane. It's not like you guys live in a $500,000, $1 million house.
Right, it's $1,050 a month.
Yeah.
For the house.
So Cole, I mean, yes, I understand it's overwhelming and there's a lot of numbers here, but also this could work. So my question is, month to month, is your lifestyle just completely out of control? Are you guys just spending a ton?
No.
No.
You got a lot of money going somewhere that you haven't shown us yet.
Yeah. Oh, daycare too. So $300 a week going to daycare.
Mm-hmm. What's your wife make a year?
She makes $52.
Okay.
Was that part of the 112?
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, I make $62. She makes $52.
Okay.
The only thing I can think of is you're completely chaotic and disorganized to the point that you're out of control. Yeah. That's the only explanation, because there's nothing glaring in these numbers. I kept waiting for the $50,000 car, and it wasn't here. I kept waiting for something big that was smacking this budget in the mouth, and it's not here. So the only thing I can come up with is you guys must be some of the most disorganized, completely chaotic people that I've run into in a while.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Okay.
That's why we're jumping on with this. We want to get it.
That's fair. I'm not picking. That's not. I'm just trying to help you. Trying to figure out where this is going, so I know how to fix it. I'm not picking on you, okay? Because I get that. So here, okay. That's bad news and that's good news. The good news is that you're the problem. The bad news is you're the problem. So we can fix this, okay? Really quickly. So a detailed, in-depth game plan where you tell every dollar exactly what to do every single month, and you and your wife pinky swear and spit shake that you're not doing a freaking thing with a single penny except what you agreed to on this hardcore plan, will get you out of this really fast. You're going to turn around so fast.
And Cole, that plan is you're not going out to eat. You guys aren't Amazoning stuff to the house. You're not literally doing nothing.
Turn off Amazon Prime.
You're doing nothing but catching up on these bills, because
you're not going out to eat.
You can do this, Cole. I mean, the numbers are here that I'm like,
no
this
vacation
is possible.
this summer. You're broke people.
Yep.
No eating out. You're broke people. You don't see the inside of a restaurant unless you're working there as your extra job to clean this freaking mess up. Okay? So this is like, put yourself in financial boot camp. Because here's the thing. You two are not dumb people. And if I hired you and said, I'll give you $10,000 to look at these people's budget and tell them exactly what to do with it, you'd have it done in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So here's what you do. You take care of food first. Lights and water second. You pay the house payment third. You pay the car payments fourth. You put gas in the car fifth. You don't need any clothes. You got enough this month.
Yep.
okay? Buy clothes only when there's something that's completely about to fall off of somebody or whatever right now. People got clothes in their closet for days. Don't talk to me about style. You're broke people, okay? And so, this is what you do. This is what Sharon and I did, all right? And so you could turn this around really fast. We call that the 4 walls. You take care of the 4 walls of your house, the necessities of life, food, shelter, clothing, transportation, utilities, gas in the car, and everything else can wait.
Yeah.
Well, it won't have to, by the way. When you start writing this out, you got enough room in this budget to probably pull this off. I don't hear the payments, because you're not making any payments on the stupid student loan. It's not affecting anything. And if you just throw the credit card payments in the trash for 1 month, whoop-de-doopty. Oh, I'll hurt my credit. Okay. Well, good. You don't need credit. You're not really good with it.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
And so if you got
Cole, and honestly, I'm like, where you guys are, there's almost this like radical behavior change that needs to occur on a very radical scale, because you've been on one extreme. I'm like, and I know you have a 1-year-old, but honestly, I'd say, between now and July, do Uber Eats at night. For 4 months, just make some extra. Like, you guys need to
not get Uber Eats, deliver Uber Eats.
You'll drive. Yeah.
But like, shock the system, Cole. You and your wife, honestly, shock the system for a short period of time. For a short period of time. And hold on the line. Austin will pick up, and we'll give you guys Financial Peace University.
We want you to, go through the Financial Peace University class.
Because honestly, you guys got this.
You could do this.
You're
Get
good.
that every dollar budget out tonight. You and your wife sit down and say, okay, we can eat. We got the money. We can keep the lights on. We can keep the house payment paid. You can do all those things. And the rest of it, you just got to fight through. And you can do this. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author. My daughter's my co-host today. If you didn't know, April is National Financial Literacy Month, all month long. Teachers and students in classrooms across America are taking time to talk about the importance of learning good money skills. We've got one of our incredible teachers that teaches foundations in personal finance in the classroom. If you didn't know, we have a high school curriculum that's in about 48% of the high schools. That means there's 52% that need to be doing it that aren't. But this teacher's absolutely incredible. We wanted to get her on the phone in honor of financial literacy class. It's Chelsea. Chelsea is in Delton, Michigan. Hi, Chelsea. How are you?
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the Ramsey Show. Thank you for teaching the class.
Of course. It's a blast. I love it.
Now, what school do you teach at?
Delton Kellogg High School.
Okay. And so what age kids, young people are going through this?
It's mostly juniors and seniors.
Okay, that's good. So they're kind of looking out into the world saying, we're coming at you. We need to know how to handle this money stuff.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Now, how many kids are enrolled at this school?
Just under 350.
Oh, wow. All right.
It's a small rural school.
Yeah. Where is Belton or Delta? Is it Belton or Delton?
Delton with
Delton.
a D.
Okay.
Yep. It's closest to Kalamazoo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. And how long have you been doing this? How long have you been teaching the foundations class?
This is my 6th year.
Okay. So what's happening actually in the classroom that makes you want to keep doing this while you're doing it?
Well, my first year teaching, I had no idea what Ramsey was or anything. So that first year I taught it, I was really teaching myself, and I thought I was good with money, but I absolutely was not. I was really good with credit card debt. And I was like, I need to practice what I'm preaching. So I fully embraced the curriculum, became debt-free in 2020.
Wow.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And I celebrated with my students, and, they hear all of my money stories that I've had throughout the process. So
good. Chelsea,
yeah,
that's amazing.
So much fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. For your own story, and then the stories of the kids in your class, have you had, through those 6 years, ones that have graduated and have come back and said, oh my gosh, thank you so much for teaching this because of X, Y, and Z? Do you have a story in mind? Or think of a student or two?
Yeah, at like homecoming games, I'll see previous students and I'll be like, are you still debt free? And they're like, I am. And this year I really focused on going to college debt free. Just as I've gotten more comfortable with the curriculum, I'm like, this is going to be my goal this year. And of course, we watched The Borrowed Future.
Oh, thanks.
And it scared my kids, of course, but in a good way.
Yeah, good.
And I have so many kids who are like, student loans are off the table. They're going to community colleges instead of universities. They're applying for scholarships. Just so many kids this year are dedicated to no student loans. So it's awesome.
All we had to do is tell them.
Right?
Nobody told them, Way to go. You're there to tell them. Thank you so much. Now, Michigan's got legislation that mandates personal finance curriculum, right?
Yes. Actually, it will be in effect for this current year's 8th graders. So when they graduate high school, they do have to have a financial literacy class credit. And my amazing principal, Lucas Treeweiler, he is dedicated to your curriculum to fulfill that credit for our students. So,
whoop, 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 whoop. All you Michigan people, we can do it for you. They got to have the credit. We can help you get there. We've met all the Michigan benchmarks, and and the lesson plans make it easy for you, don't they?
Yes. Oh, my gosh, yes. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Our guys have built this out so well. Our whole education team are actually phenomenal professionals in curriculum development to make it easy for the teacher, make it fun for the kiddos, and it's lights out amazing. And you are lights out amazing for teaching it and for getting and jazzing up your amazing principal. Way to go!
Thank you. And the kids do love George Camel's dad jokes, so
That's good. So do we.
Listen, we all love George Camel's dad jokes. Even dads love George Camel's dad jokes.
Yep.
So, oh, man, that's fun. Hey, congratulations, and thank you so much for leading this for so long.
And for just being a teacher, too, Chelsea. I just know in today's world, it's a lot. And as a mom with little ones in the school system, just thank you for all you do and all the teachers out there, because it's a hard job, and sadly sometimes a thankless job. So just here, thank you from us and what you do. So
I couldn't do it, and it's not because of the kids. The helicopter parents, I would do like a Sam's missile and just take out the helicopter, and it'd be over. I mean, I just couldn't do it. The helicopters would crash because I couldn't do it. I can't handle them, and so because I grew up in a house, where if we had an argument with the teacher, my parents automatically assumed the teacher was right. That's where we started. I had to make a real case
for yourself.
For myself. In other words, I had to learn to argue well otherwise just shut up.
There are great parents out there, though.
There are great parents, and there are fabulous teachers.
Yes.
That put up with some not great parents.
And some not great students and some great students.
Yeah.
It's all, doesn't matter on age.
It's all mixed in there.
All mixed in there. All that say, they have a very selfless, sacrificial job. So teachers, thank you.
It's tough. Any teachers listening out there, we love you, we respect you, we thank you, and as a part of the Financial Literacy Month, we want you to enter the Ramsey Teacher Appreciation Giveaway, sponsored by the Army National Guard, no less. One teacher will win a $5,000 vacation. 2 more teachers will win a $3,000 vacation each. No purchase necessary. All you got to do is be a teacher and go to RamseySolutions.com/teacher. You can enter, and we want to be a blessing in at least 3 of your lives. And to all of you, just say, we salute you. Thank you, Chelsea. You're absolutely amazing. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Anthony's with us in Sacramento. Anthony, how are you?
Good. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I'm just looking kind of more or less just for like a future financial decision, whether it be like trying to invest more or looking into kind of buying a house.
Okay. So where are you at, Anthony, with your money? Is there debt? Do you have anything liquid?
So I have about 30,000 in my savings, debt free, making around 120 a year.
Good for you. How old are you?
23.
Amazing. What do you do?
I'm a firefighter.
Good for you.
Awesome. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, Anthony, I mean, yeah, the savings you have is incredible. Are you looking to settle down in where you live right now? Like, do you think that that'll be a long-term play for you, location-wise?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I would like to, kind of get a first house and then see from there whether it be kind of moving up to another house and using that one as a rental property. I just, I feel like I'm in a good position right now.
Are you in a serious relationship?
Yeah, I live with my girlfriend.
Okay. All right. Don't buy a house with someone you're not married to. So if you buy a house, you buy a house. You don't buy a house with your shacked up girlfriend. That'll get you in a mess. Okay.
Yeah.
But now, I will say, if you're about to get married, then she would be involved in the purchase of the house after you're married. And so I don't know what your timeline is on that kind of stuff. But if that's not coming soon, you don't put her on the deed. And honestly, she's not in the decision either.
Right.
Okay. But if there's gonna be a wedding in the offing, then we change the whole dynamic and we involve her in the purchase, and you close after you're married.
Yeah,
and both of you are on it.
So looking at a good starter home, Anthony, you can use some of this money. I would keep some of it as an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Whatever's remaining, just making sure you have at least 5% for a down payment if that's what you want to do, and then start investing 15% of your income into retirement. After that is what we would say, walking down the baby steps.
Yeah, very good. Good job. You were ahead of the game at your age, sir. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Rachel Cruz, #1 best-selling author, my daughter, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jackson, Memphis. Hey, Jack, how are you?
Hey, Dave and Rachel, how are y'all doing?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of questions in one, but I'm kind of working a lot right now, and I just need some direction, really. I'm 18 years old, and I'm trying to pay myself through college. I'm already planning to go to community college, and I don't have a car, and there's just a lot of things that my family, can't pay for. Got allergies. And I was just wondering, like, how should I spend the money that I get in preparation for going through college?
Yeah, it's some great questions, Jack. Are you a senior right now in high school?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have any money saved going into next semester's tuition for the fall?
No, I'm actually $800 into my emergency fund.
Okay, that's great. So
you mean you have an $800 emergency fund?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
And how much will community college be per semester?
It's going to be free for the first 2 years.
Oh, that's great. Okay. And so a car is something that you're going to be looking towards. Are you going to be living at home while you're at school?
That's the plan, yes.
Yeah, that's great. So your expenses will be books, things to get you like academically, and then maybe some money for food and gas and all of that, correct?
Yeah.
Just some basic expenses.
So what do you think you're going to be making at these hustles?
So I just got blessed with a nice backpack leaf blower, and I posted on my neighborhood Facebook page and stuff. And I've got a few yards that I'm fixing to do, and I would be making about an extra extra $200 a month probably.
Okay, you got blessed with a backpack what?
Leaf blower.
A leaf
blower. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great because rich people are afraid of leaves. Okay, so yeah, you can turn that into money. Yeah. Okay, so your side hustle is lawn care.
Yes, sir.
With allergies. Okay. I went through the same thing. That's why I'm laughing. I can remember running the weed eater and sneezing for 3 days. Okay. What you're looking at is basic math, simple math, okay? You want a $2,000 car, at $200 a month, it's going to take you 10 months. At $500 a month, it's going to...
Sorry to interrupt, but I work part-time at Firehouse Subs, and I make about $1,000 a month. So I'm just doing that as well as working part-time.
Oh, I thought your side hustle was your only thing. Oh, it's a side hustle. Your main gig is Firehouse, aside from going to high school.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Okay, so $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And how much of that can you put away towards a car? 1,000?
I'd say I want to try and save up about like 4,000.
If you did 1,000 for 4 months, you'd have it, right?
Right.
Okay.
I guess like another question is, it's just like I feel like expenses, they just like come out of nowhere. Like for me, prom is something that I was like planning to do, but like now that I do the every dollar budget, like I'm just now seeing how this stuff adds up. And so I was just wondering, like, how do I stay focused and make decisions on purchases, especially trying to save for college, a car?
Yeah. Let me just say, Jack, this is a great life lesson because while prom is the reality in your world, life and other things are the reality for other listeners. That stuff will continue to always come up like that. You're experiencing true life with that. I mean, that is what happens. And so in your budget, we have what's called the miscellaneous category. So I would put that in and put some money towards that. So it's kind of your catch-all. When stuff does pop up and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I had that, you can take money out of that category so it doesn't completely ruin your entire budget. There's going to be some stuff you have to say no to. I don't want you saying no to prom. So I'm like, yeah, let's figure out a way to get some money saved if your parents aren't available to help. And maybe that's working a little extra. Maybe that's not going out to the big, nice dinner. Maybe you skip one of the things that night. I don't know. I don't know how much prom tickets cost these days, but...
What do I know? Maybe drive your own car. Oh, wait a minute. Doesn't have one. Maybe drive your dad's car instead of getting a limo. That's why I was thinking about the limo thing.
Oh, I know. I was like... No.
I was like, whoa. Then I'd said that, yeah. So get your dad's car, shine it up. That's what we used to do back in the day when the dinosaurs roamed the earth.
But when you walk through that process, Jack, what you're experiencing at 18... it's kind of the same life in a sense. Obviously, it's not prom that you're going to experience at 28, 38, and your whole life. And so learning how to be diligent with putting money away and then prioritizing when things do come up to say, okay, do I have the money or do I not? And so it's all about really at that point making choices. But Jack, your overall financial picture, you're a hard worker. You're making $1,200 a month as a high schooler, which is amazing. And you're gonna be able to make a lot more this summer when you don't have school. College is free. You're living at home. So there's no expenses. So as you continue just to save. So I would say throughout community college, your goal needs to be put as much money away as possible, because when you graduate from school, then you're going to have this expensive transition, honestly, into the real world. Maybe that's moving cities. That might be, taking on a job, renting an apartment or a house for the first time. So having cash available for you when you graduate college, I think is going to be your number one goal. But expenses and stuff, you should be able to cash flow all that with working.
Hey guys, the Building Wealth event is going to be in Salt Lake City in less than 3 weeks. If you've reached your enough is enough moment, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, hey, we're here to help. Or maybe you just want to come hang out with the tribe, the Ramsey tribe. We'd love to have you. There's a few tickets left. We'll be there April the 24th. Rachel Cruz, George Campbell, Jade Warshaw, and we're going to give you the proven plan to get out of debt, save money, be outrageously generous, but most of all, how to build wealth in 2023. And we're ready to dive in some of the hot topics everybody's talking about, like inflation and investing and interest rates, all this stuff. And get your tickets now at RamseySolutions.com. We'll also be in Anaheim, California on May the 2nd with Ken Coleman, Dr. John Deloney, and Jade Warshaw. That event is almost sold out. There's about like 62 tickets left, so they're only $49 a piece. RamseySolutions.com/events. Anaheim, Salt Lake. See you soon. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Number one best-selling author. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. So joining us for a segment here to hang out, my good friend Damon John from Shark Tank. Hey, Damon, how are you?
I'm well. How you doing?
Better than I deserve, sir. Thank you for hanging out with us. So I got a call the other day from Damon, and he said, I've got a book that just hit number one. I want to talk about it. And I got the book, and I said, yes, we want to talk about it. It's a kid's book, Little Damon Learns to Earn. Now, I got to say, Little Damon, you were a better-looking guy when you had that hair on top, man. That's pretty good.
I'll have to cover the bald spot with one of my new hats.
I love the hat. Excellent. Okay, now I read the book, Little Damon Learns to Earn, a few minutes ago, and I kind of remember this story from somewhere. It looks familiar.
It does. It does. It looks like a little Damon who learned to earn, but he was probably about 28 years old. And after he earned it, he almost went bankrupt after he had $10 million in the bank.
A little operation called FUBU that made you who you are, right?
That is right. But let's really open up. But I didn't call you initially to tell you about the book. I called and said, hey, I need some advice, Dave, because, I know you've been doing this for quite some time in this space, and you really can help me. And your advice was, come on the show, man. Let me share what you're doing with the public, man. And so I appreciate you for what you've been already doing. And I'm just finding out how people don't care about politics or anything else when it comes to the future of any and all of our children in this great country. So this is one thing we can all agree on.
Amen. So number one best-selling kids book, Little Damon Learns to Earn. Rachel, you got to take this home and read it to the grandkids.
I know. This is so great. Okay, so what was it like for you? What was like the motivation to write the kids book? Because, you can write any kind of book, but for you, writing a kid's book that's a special thing.
It is, and I have, thank God, I've been graced and blessed with 3 New York Times bestsellers for adults. And, I'm always asked to do them. I'm dyslexic. It's cool. And sometimes the adults, we're all stuck in our own ways sometimes, or whatever the case is. But I have a little beautiful new girl in my life. My oldest daughters are 29 and 24. My idea of teaching my oldest daughters financial intelligence at the time, I didn't have much of it. I said to them, hey, you want a new car? You go work really hard and I'll match the money you have and get you a new car. That wasn't teaching them financial intelligence. That was teaching them how to work hard. And this little girl, I realized we have lost our national heroes. After the kids are 5 years old and they don't have Peppa Pig to watch anymore, they don't have what we grew up on, Electric Company and Mr. Rogers and Bob or Steve Ross, whatever his name, and even my children, Steve from Blue's Clues. So there are no national heroes. They're watching a bunch of children on other families. Nothing wrong with this, but they're just watching people play with toys and unboxing, and they're not caring about making what's in the box. They want to see what's they're making outside the box. So I wanted to come up with something where I connect with my little girl, teach her the process and the idea of entrepreneurship at a very young age. And I was tired of reading books to her about princesses and ponies and telling her, baby, I promise if you wait one day, there's going to be a prince to come grab you with a glass slipper or I don't know.
Yeah.
Find you in a tower and you better not live with 7 dwarfs. So I wanted her to create her own glass slipper factory or store. And the prince comes in and says, who owns all this? I need to meet her.
The teaching financial literacy and teaching entrepreneurship are two of the lost things for sure in our high schools, in our homes. And so I'm really, really proud of this book because it's all about little Damon. He goes on a journey of learning to earn. And oh, by the way, he didn't go work at fast food and gripe about what they pay. He went and started a business.
And that's the beautiful part, right? We show there, so the beautiful part about this is, like you said, you read it a couple of minutes ago. You can read it like this. It's for kids 5 to 10 years old, parents and kids connecting together. You read it, when you read it to a child, you read it once every month. They want to read all the great books once every month. So it's a way to casually engage them. When we tell our kids, hey, don't lie. Remember what happened to the boy who cried wolf? Well, now we can say, hey, you wanna earn that? What did little Damon and his crew do? But this is what I'm going to be calling my life legacy. It's not about this book. It's about me heading down this journey where I want to join the Dave Ramsey of the world and get other people in other states and other celebrities, whatever, to talk about this and to bring this to our educational base and our teachers and create this as a mandate in schools. And by the time I'm gone, I want my little daughters to say, my daddy started the conversation along with some other great people about how we have to change this country's trajectory and stop becoming a country of renters and a country of owners and really have the American dream.
Amen. Amen. Know how to leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home. It's good stuff. So when you read through this, I mean, as I said, I've been through it, but when you wrote it, when the parents read through it with their kid, what is it your hope that the kid will come away with?
I'm hoping the kid comes away with the fact that they have a skill or they have something they love, and that anything that they buy, they can sell, and anything they do for free, they can get paid for. And that learning to work within their community or their surroundings and the things they actually have can be of benefit to them, and not just one person benefits. Everybody benefits simultaneously, and that is what entrepreneurship is about. And that's what I want them to take away from it. And I want their minds to open up as they are growing up going, wait a minute, I can actually do that. I can get paid for what I love to do. So, the school system right now is back like it was 80 years ago. We were in the industrial age. They taught us, how to build ships, because they taught us a trade or how to be a great employee. But today, if you know it as I do, if you don't teach them how money works, and then at 17 years old, they can acquire $600,000 to $700,000 worth of student debt that they aren't going to pay off into their 50s. Well, then you created a country of people who learn to live off of debt. And I'm not talking about good debt. I'm talking about bad debt.
Amen. Damon John of Shark Tank and FUBU fame. The new book is a children's book, Little Damon
So good,
Learns
Damon.
to Earn. And, one of the things I loved about this from an entrepreneurial standpoint is it's not just he learned to open his own business, but he hired his friends.
Yeah.
He built a leadership team already. I mean, he built a production team and was delegating and delegating their own stuff out to them. It was very cool.
It was resourcefulness because, like you said, Damon, I'm like, it's like just look in your sphere and what you have around you, who's around you, what's inside of you. and use all of that for the good of your community, and then you can make money while doing that as well. So all of that
Our
together.
kids, and our kids naturally do it. Nobody just puts it in a format for them because, when we were growing up, our lemonade stand was as big as everybody who passed the block. The kids' lemonade stand today is as big as the entire world once they push a button on this thing. So yeah, we were always doing it, and our kids do it now, but we just haven't formalized and show them that, by the way, there is a path to doing this forever for yourself and your community and having fun and making money and creating change.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is you're helping people, and they give you, as my friend Rabbi Lappin says, they give you certificates of appreciation with presidents' faces on them.
Yeah, that's what happens. And, I'm having so much of a blast doing this. I listen, I'm wearing this crazy hat. And the reason why I say I wear it is because the kids don't care about my $10,000 Tom Ford suit. But when I wear this hat, and we all know that children are not now exiting their parents' homes till 30s, I tell them, they go, hey, you're going to create magic? Yeah, I'm going to show you how to disappear out of your parents' home at 20. I'm going to show you how to make $1 into $3. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you some magic.
Show you some magic.
It's a dad blame magician. Who knew? Oh, well, we got to spend a little time with Damon. He was down back in 2020, spoke for us at an Entre Leadership event, and then we got to have dinner at the house, a bunch of us together, and hang out. Had a great evening, and it's an honor to call you friend. I'm proud of you. It's a good book. Little Damon Learns to Earn. Damon John, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for stopping by, my friend.
Thank you always for the support. Thank you for what you're doing for our children and our future and this country. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, everybody.
Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, co-host of the podcast that is vastly popular these days called Smart Money Happy Hour. She and George Campbell do that. You guys ought to check it out. It's where culture meets buttermilk. No, not cultured buttermilk. What is it? What?
Pop culture. Current events and money.
Okay, there we go. You don't even know about cultured buttermilk, do you?
No, I literally have no idea what you're talking
about.
Okay,
that's perfect. That's exactly why I did that. Okay. Hey, in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Wow. Evan and Laurie are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Better than we deserve.
Cool. Do y'all know what cultured buttermilk is?
I do.
You do?
Oh, man, really?
I'm from West Texas.
Yeah.
Evan, do
you?
Well,
she's from Tennessee.
No. Okay, good. We got half and half.
All
Me
right,
and Evan.
We're running a 50% here on the cultured buttermilk. Important people want to know these things. Hey, guys, so what part of West Texas? Where are you from?
Well, we live in Dallas now, near Dallas.
Okay.
Frisco.
Cool. And how much debt did you pay off?
$145,000.
Very cool. How long did that take?
27 months.
All right. Yeah. And your range of income during that 2 years plus?
We started at 125 and ended up at 180.
Excellent. Excellent. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a licensed professional counselor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an engineer in oil and gas.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So who got the big bump during this time?
I got a new job, and he got several promotions.
Both of you then?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the way it works, isn't it? All right. Good.
So
what kind of debt was the $145,000?
Everything. The first thing we paid off was my wedding ring.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had credit cards, student loan, cars. We have a 9-month-old baby, so she bumped that up for us in June. So.
Good. She's not going to get repoed now. Got to pay it off. All right. And so wow, y'all were like normal.
Yeah.
How long you been married?
Almost 3 years. We got married May 2020, right in the height of the pandemic.
Oh,
yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
We actually eloped in May of 2020, and then we.
Where did you go? Where humans were running around at that time?
We just went to a lake near us.
A lake
with our parents.
Okay.
Great. But then
there weren't any humans. Good. Yeah, I like that.
We went ahead and had our big party too, and we would not advise that. If you're
Yeah.
already married, just go be married. Don't get $20,000 more of debt.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you can add that
For like the
on.
reception that you did
Right.
later.
Okay,
Yes.
then
Yep.
so not long after that, you
went
look
for it.
up and you say, "We're going to do something different. We're going to do this Ramsey thing." What did you do?
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah, we got home from our extravagant wedding and our extravagant honeymoon. Because we're from Texas, everything's bigger in Texas, and we looked at our bank account and said, "Wow, all our money's gone now. We spent it all on our wedding and our honeymoon." So we decided, like, what are we gonna do? And she had been kind of nudging me about this Ramsey thing. I was like, "Oh, I don't need Dave Ramsey. I'm not broke. I'm an engineer in oil and gas." And so then, like, one late night, I was like trying to do the budget in my head, couldn't figure it out. So then I was like, I'm gonna Google this Dave Ramsey, and I was like, oh, okay, like this makes sense. Like this math adds up. 1 + 1 = 2. And so after that, we kind of just took off running. Sort of. Yeah, we started Dave-ish.
We were limping.
Limping along. Yeah, we started Dave-ish, and then we got a financial coach, Jen Parker. Shout out to her. She was awesome. She got us through this thing right after COVID and everything. She got us all the way through, and then we just we had a baby, and that was the last motivation that made us go, hey, that we got to do this. Like, we got to do this for her.
Yeah, once the baby comes, it turns it up.
Yeah.
It got real now.
It got real, yeah.
It got
Somebody
real.
relies on you. It's pretty real.
Our goal was we want to be done with baby step 2 before she takes her first step.
Oh, that's good.
I like it.
So you guys, I mean, looking at the numbers, y'all did it quick. I mean, I know you had a great income, but you really felt the sacrifice. So what was like the biggest things that you guys cut that you feel like really helped? And then what were things that you added in that you were like, oh yeah, that everyone needs to do this to help them get out of debt?
She made me sell my boat. I was
In return, I sold my car.
Whoa!
Y'all sold some stuff.
Yeah, I was a 1099 employee when we started this, and Evan was very worried about what taxes was going to look like. Everyone needs someone responsible in your life, because I was like, it's fine. But we saved and saved and saved because we were scared of what income tax was going to look like. And when that time came, we actually only ended up paying a little bit, and we had $8,500 left over. And we found a cream puff car, a 2007 Ford Edge Sport for $85,000.
$8,500, yeah.
$8,500, yes.
Yeah, I feel better already. And so what did yours sell for?
We actually ended up having to pay about $1,800.
Yeah, but what did it sell for total? What was the total price?
Oh, it was 22.
22,000 of the 145.
Yeah.
What did the boat sell for?
12.5.
Okay, what kind of boat?
It was a bass boat.
Okay, all right. So you'll get anything you want now. Later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I promise. I promise.
It was the deal. I get a Suburban, he gets a boat.
There we go. With cash.
With cash.
I like it.
I love it. Okay, so what was the hardest part? Because you guys had a baby in the middle of all of this. So what would you say though was like, ooh, that was a tough thing. Whether it was a sacrifice or obviously having a baby, it's like, wow, that's a lot in the middle of this.
I think for us it was like, oh, we're young, we should be having fun, we should be going and seeing the world. But now it's like, now that we look back on it, it's like, wow, we would have just done stupid things so I went and saw the world. And so instead, now we're old, we can appreciate the world.
There
a
you
little bit
go.
better.
Yay.
That's good.
Live like no one else. Later, you can live and give like no one else.
We also did Rover dog sitting. So for me, this was the hardest part, is Evan went to go see his family the weekend that we were doing Christmas Rover. And I was pregnant, and I had 23 dogs in our house by myself. And I was pregnant. So he was only gone one night, but he will never get to live that
I
down.
don't even want to think about it.
For the $6,000 in a week, it was worth it.
$6,000.
Stop it.
Yeah.
It was worth the sacrifice.
Go Rover.
Yeah.
People will pay you a lot of money
Rover,
to watch.
come over. Oh my gosh! Wow.
Well
That's
done,
incredible.
you guys. Yeah, that's a hard 24 hours though.
It was.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Y'all have
Prepared me
land
for
and stuff? How do
motherhood.
you do that?
Prepared me for motherhood.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
a lot.
and then some. Wow, way to go. All right, now, when your friends are looking at you and they thought you were crazy, how'd you keep going?
God, number one, for sure. Like when we were at the height of all our money, he was there. When we were at the bottom in the valley, he was there. And now that we're back, we're not on top of the mountain yet, but we're working back to the top of the mountain, and he's right here with us. So.
Amen.
I think when you're a good steward of the money God gives you, he gives you more money to be a good steward of.
That's what the Bible says.
Yeah.
When you're faithful in the little things, you'll be given more to manage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well done. Good for you. Very good.
Congratulations,
so proud
you
of
guys.
Thank you.
And
It's a big deal.
Yeah, that's impressive. Very impressive. Who was cheering you on from the sidelines?
So I grew up with the Dave Ramsey-ish life. My parents are going to watch this and be ashamed of themselves. But we did envelopes on and off my whole life. And so I knew what it was. I just didn't know, like, is it really that sustainable? So our parents have been both huge supporters. Jen Parker, our financial coach, she whipped us into shape. We actually got her because I was like, let's buy a house. And Evan was like, that's not what we're doing right now. I was like, but lots of people do it. Like, it's fine. So
that's so great.
And then we actually,
our
friend Hallie, who's here with us, it was great to have someone on this journey with us who understood when we said, we can't, that's not in the budget. We can't do that. And then she would say the same thing, I can't do that. It's not in my budget. So
hey, we got the Live and Give bundle for you. That's the Baby Steps Millionaires book. You're on your way to being Baby Steps Millionaires, a total money makeover book, and a Financial Peace University membership. So you can use them or give them away. They're there for you. Thanks for making the trip. And you brought little Eliza with you, and she is a happy kid.
Yeah.
We've been laughing at her. She's laughing at everything over here. She's great. And how old is Eliza?
Oh, she's almost 10 months.
All right. She's fun.
Dang.
And she's going to love the microphone. I like it. That's good. All right. Evan, Laurie, and Eliza. Eliza, your life has been changed. Your family tree's changed, kiddo, and you don't even know it. $145,000 paid off in 27 months. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Yeah! I love it. This is the Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, 1 Corinthians 16:13. Be on your guard. Stand firm in the faith. Be courageous. Be strong. Maya Angelou said, without courage, we cannot practice any other virtue with consistency. We can't be kind, true, merciful, generous, or honest. Very good. Like it. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. John is with us in Dallas, Texas. Hey, John, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for having me.
Sure. What's up?
I'm just trying to figure out how much house my wife and I can afford if we plan on paying cash.
Wow. Good for you. Well, obviously it's going to be limited by how much cash you have then. So let's start with that. What's the game plan?
Well, we have in checking and savings accounts, we have about $500,000. And then in brokerage accounts and other investment accounts, we have about $2 million. And then we have a rental property as well. That's about $400,000 that's paid off. So I guess ultimately what we're trying to figure out is how much can we afford without jeopardizing our future?
Well, obviously you've done a lot of wonderful things. Congratulations. A $3 million net worth. How old are you?
I'm 29 and my wife is 26.
Wow. Where'd all this money come from?
Mostly, unfortunately, when my wife's mother passed away, a large chunk of it was an inheritance. So that's where a majority of that came from.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry for your loss. And so now you've got this responsibility to be honoring of that legacy, right? And that's why you're asking a good, wise question like you're asking. Okay.
Yes,
so a rule of thumb in general as we deal with wealthy people, and you are now officially in that category, the larger your net worth, the smaller the percentage of your net worth would be in your personal residence. Let me give you an extreme example. Let's say you had $100 million net worth if you bought a $5 million house, it would only be 5%, right? But if you had a $10 million net worth and you bought a $5 million house, it'd be 50%. So you wouldn't do that. Okay, as an example. Right. So the larger your net worth, the smaller it should be. So if you have a small net worth, like much smaller than yours, like say you had a $1 million net worth, then if you wouldn't even want 50% in that, if you could keep from it. Okay? It's not the end of the world, but so we don't want to go north of 50%. I can't think of a situation where I would go north of 50% in your personal residence. And so, that limits you. So that gives us a number to start with, say $1.5 million. Okay. Then I start scaling back from that because your personal residence, while it does go up in value, does not create an income. The other investments create income. And the more you move from the brokerage that's invested in mutual funds into the house, that every dollar of that becomes dormant when you move it into the house, or virtually dormant. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And so I don't want to put you in a $200,000 house either, but somewhere south of $1 million range. What were you all thinking?
Well, somewhere around there. We're also in the middle of a life decision. The state that we're originally from is a lot more expensive than Texas, and family is there. And with my wife just graduating, we're trying to figure out whether we want to be here or there. So if we were to go back there. For what we're trying to look for, I would imagine it would be in the $1 million range. And then here in Texas, something comparable, probably between 700 to 800,000 is my rough guess.
Yeah, that sounds fair. I don't think any of those are going to fall in the dumb category. What's your household income going to be with her graduating?
With her graduating, it could be anywhere from 250 to 300,000 a year, depending on the starting salary that she gets.
Okay, all right. Wow.
What does she do? What is she going to be doing?
A physician assistant.
Okay, that's great. Well, you guys are in a great position, John, which is awesome. And the hard thing is too comparing real estate from Dallas to wherever else you're comparing. Where is it? California, New York,
Colorado.
Colorado. Okay. The math still doesn't change, right? So like the percentage. So I just don't want you guys think justifying. Well, this is a more expensive area, so we have to spend more for some reason, right? And you start justifying a crazy purchase. I don't think you're going to, but always just be aware of that, because it can be easy just to say, well, what the house we would have had in Dallas, if we have that here, it's going to cost this much, and you just kind of make it this equal thing where it's not, right? You have to plug in that math. So just be wary of that when you guys are shopping. If you guys choose to go to Colorado, don't justify, well, these are just higher prices, so let's go $1.5 million, right? And do something that you regret.
Yeah, I think you set your budget and then you work into that. But the 700 to $1 million, none of those numbers concern me. I think they're all fine.
Okay.
And I kind of backed into that. You were with me as I was discussing it with myself, okay?
Okay.
You heard me walk through that, right?
Yes, sir.
And so the idea being then that you've got a couple of $1 million minimum that's going to be generating income while you live in a $1 million or less house. And you're going to have no payments anywhere in your world ever. You have to swear to that. And you have a $250,000, $300,000 income, and so now you're fully funding 401ks and Roth IRAs. So you're going to build several million, tens of millions of dollars of wealth with your income aside from this inheritance within a decade or two.
Okay.
If you'll just stay in control here, and whatever you do, you pay cash for it, and make sure that you're allocating some percentage of your life to enjoy some of this money, to be generous with some of this money, and always to be investing some of this money. You need to be doing all three all the time. Most of us struggle with leaning too heavily on one of those or the other, and I don't think you're going to, but just watch for that. Just always be. We even teach children this. Parents, when they're teaching their children, teach them to enjoy the money. That's wise spending. and buy some things that are nice. You have $3 million. That's okay. Have a decent trip or two here or there. You need to do that. You got $3 million. You make $300,000 a year. That's okay. But be outrageously generous. It's the most fun you'll ever have with money. Look for generosity opportunities and grow that muscle, and then be steadily, regularly, consistently, month in and month out, automatic draft from your checking account, automatic draft out of your paycheck going into your 401k. Be an investor. Be doing all of that, and you're going to be just fine. Man, they're really set up.
Yeah, it's well done, John. I mean, that's incredible. And just the diligence, too, of asking these questions, I think is so encouraging. So I'm excited for you guys.
And I always ask myself, too, since some of this came from, grandma or mom, what is honoring their legacy? What's honoring their memory with this money? And so if am I doing something that helps me kind of check myself if I'm being a little childish or irresponsible or out of control or something? Is that making mom in heaven smile when I do this with the money? And, you don't want to be guilt tripping yourself. And that's not what I'm talking about, but it just kind of checks you and says, okay, that's out of control. But if you bought a nice car, would she be smiling that was reasonable? Yeah, she would be, especially for her grandkids running around in it, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting, though, because people that work the baby steps, a lot of the time we hear, oh my gosh, we got on baby step 7 where they are, and it's hard for them to spend. It's hard for them to go back to that muscle of enjoying their money. I feel like that's a consistent call we get, or even through baby steps 4 through 6. Then when people kind of get out of that intense phase of the part that, yeah, you're good. Like, this is the reason you did stuff. So honestly, even allocating and forcing yourself to do the things that are uncomfortable. So whether that's spending, have an amount of money that you're like, okay, we have to practice spending. For some people, that's really hard.
Enjoying it.
Yeah. And then for some people, it's saving. And it's like having this number that even if it's not your natural bent, you still do it over and over and over again. So putting it down on paper and being intentional with it is always really helpful.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well done. Well, that about puts this particular hour in the books. Rachel, good show today. This hour in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz. If you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.